Hello and welcome to week 2 of Advent and our Zoom In on Advent series. Glad that you are joining us again this week. And this week is brought to you by the letter H. Little nod to Sesame Street there. H is for hope. Hope frequently gets confused with wishing, especially at this time of year when we are asked for our Christmas list and for letters to Santa. What do we want? What do we wish for? Sometimes we say, what do we hope for? But hope is different from wishing. And as we journey through the season of Advent, we can ask, what hope is supposed to stir inside of us? And the answer is expectation. Expectation that is rooted in the experience of God's gracious character. Expectation and hope. Hope is future directed. Israel's hope about the Messiah pointed them forward in expectation. They had hope in a future where there would be an end to exile. And they had this hope because God promised it would be so. And what made those promises credible was the experience of God's faithfulness. When the prophets sought to evoke expectation, they would point to the old stories. Isaiah and the others would allude to God as the creator of all, reminding them of the stories of Genesis, as the deliverer from Egypt, reminding the people of the Exodus and how God provided for them during that, and as the one whose transformative power could bring life to barren places. The cause for expectation, then, was the experiences they had of God's past actions that revealed God's faithfulness. And so there was room for hope. Because hope is not grounded in who we are, but rather is grounded in who God is. To live with hope is to live with active trust in what God has promised. To live with hope in the season of Advent is to live with trust in the promises not simply of a child, but a coming reign of justice and peace. And why those things? Because those are exactly the sort of things God has been doing among and with us all along, whether in the stories of ancient Israel or the narratives of Mary and Elizabeth and of Zechariah and of Joseph, or in our own experiences of God's faithfulness. Hope is not wishful thinking, nor is it simply an attitude adjustment. Genuine hope remembers and anticipates the arc of God's actions and promises, and in doing so reorientates the ways we live, the values we hold, and the communities we shape in expectant response. So perhaps the final word is not what hopes you hold, but what hopes take hold of you, especially during this season. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to join us on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. via Zoom. You can check your activity page and emails for the link for that meeting.